Hello once again, gamers! Today, we've got an epic story, the likes of which you've never seen. It involves a tiny boy, his stepmom, and then also a girl in jail. I don't know, but I do know one thing. You're darn sure gonna enjoy it. And if you don't, then you have to smash the like in the next 3 seconds. Smash the like, please. If you want to see more, smash on the like, please! And also enjoy. I just ate so much fried chicken, my belly feels like it's about to get full! Hey guys, it's time for another one of these videos. I got my stepmom pregnant. I'm sorry, what does that say?
I got my stepmom pregnant.
I'm sorry, what the fuck? We obviously gotta watch that one, guys.
My dad's a total jerk, and not even good looking.
The children in these stories are very mean. I've come to notice as well, guys. My dad's a dumb jerk. And he doesn't even make any money. He can't even support a family, the loser! That's why I suck his wife! Ah!
So how come he was able to marry Lexi, a stunning model who's been on the cover of Vogue?
He got that stick. He got that stick on him. He knows how to drive it. Or whatever. I don't know.
Well, we live in South America.
You could have said that.
He was a corrupt politician.
You could have said that in the very beginning.
Who was giving government contracts to whoever paid the biggest bribe.
So your dad's epic. All right, he's an epic South American politician. Those are the worst politicians, by the way, guys. If I've learned anything from being in America. What the fuck is that guy's hair, by the way?
How do I know all this? Well,
My dad told me.
he even tried to recruit me. He said I'd make lots of money, but I refused
Okay.
and told him that millions of people were living in poverty because of corrupt politicians like him.
Okay, this is fake. This story's fake. I can already tell this story's fake because if I were to have been asked the same thing, I would have said, sign me up, Dad. In fact, I'll cut my hair like that other guy.
You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you.
I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I have morals. I promise.
And the real victim was Lexi anyway.
Oh no.
After she got married to my dad, he treated her horribly.
It's because he's rich.
He'd make her dress in revealing maid costumes and ordered her to cook for him or clean the living room while he watched.
What? What? You should have just hired a fucking maid, it sounds like. Seems like that would have fit the bill.
He seemed to get a kick out of having power over her. Maybe you think Lexi deserved it.
Oh my God.
I mean, she only married dad for his money.
Yeah, obviously.
She always seemed so sad.
Who's at fault here then? Him or her? Who's more shallow? Who's more shallow and
Dumb, him or her?
One day, I found Lexi crying.
Oh no.
I asked what was wrong,
What's wrong, Lexi?
and she told me my dad had screamed at her for hours and said he'd kick her out if she annoyed him again.
Okay. Just leave.
I said I was sorry for how my dad
Just
was
leave.
treating her, but suddenly she
Just
pushed me
leave.
back.
Straddled me and started kissing me.
Then she said, gosh, it turns out marrying men just for money is not a good idea. And then she did this. She said, see ya! At a door or something. A door. Make it look like I just left, all right? Because I'm a strong, independent woman.
She whispered,
Show me how a real man treats a woman.
Okay. Hey guys, well, this part of the video, begging section. If you want to see another episode, press a like. Also, caption the image. All right, I'll give you some time to caption down in the comments. Caption the image. Also, here's the best captions from the last one. And enjoy.
I was only 18.
Okay, so wait. So he's 18 in this story, but let's take a peek at the thumbnail. Huh? That guy doesn't look 18. Who's that? Is that Lexi? That guy's small enough to fit inside her giant fucking belly. Why does the 18-year-old look like a middle schooler in the thumbnail?
As we were making out, I heard my dad walking towards the room.
Big giant ear.
I panicked and jumped behind the couch to hide. Dad came in and sat next to Lexi, saying, I've got a business trip this weekend. There'll be plenty
Finally.
of security guards around to keep an eye on you.
Some anime security guards.
And they'll notify me if you try to go anywhere.
What?
But after he left, Lexi and I started kissing again.
Oh, wow. That seems like a good idea.
And I never even held a girl's hand before.
Virgin.
But I couldn't keep my hands off Lexi.
Her giant
Bazookas. this?
Our affair went on for months.
Oh my God.
Whenever Dad went out, Lexi and I hooked up.
This is so messed up.
Even though she was older than me, we fell in love.
How old was she, by the way?
I gave her the kindness and affection my dad wouldn't.
This is a really weird story, I've just now realized, guys. It's just now striking me how bizarre this tale is. This is a tall tale, okay? Some may say. Maybe a wizard or something.
But then, Lexi fell pregnant. There was no doubt I was the father because it happened during one of my dad's business trips. Fell pregnant.
Doubt that I was the father because I was...
Family-friendly commentary.
You better bet! No cap. Bleep all that out, by the way, because you can't say that on YouTube, I don't think. But I basically said that, obviously, he's the father.
Okay, look at him. He's a stud.
It's not anything like what I said. I said something far, far worse.
He thought the baby was his.
He's an idiot.
But after my daughter, Haley, was born, my dad became
This is
even
gonna
more
be
of an
weird.
ass. He told Lexi she
This
was
is gonna be
fat
weird.
and threatened to give Haley away if she continued screaming.
This guy's just kind of wild then.
Even though she was just a baby.
Tell that baby to get a job.
Lexi and I thought about running away, but we didn't have the money. The only way we'd be free was if my dad died or went to jail.
I think I see where this is going.
So, I came up with a plan. I told
Oh
my
my
dad
God.
I changed my mind about helping with his business deals.
Dad, I
He was
wanna
so
join your
happy. He
company.
said he'd never been prouder of me.
Oh my God!
Over the next few weeks,
There's that guy again. Who is that? Slap him in the back of his...
Giant hand.
it was shocking how open they were about bribing my dad and how much money they were going to make.
No, this is not true.
They wouldn't have been so open if they'd known that
This
I'd
is not
planted
true.
hidden microphones in Dad's office.
Oh!
I was recording every word they said.
Oh, so like kind of like a Bill Clinton Oval Office sort of scenario. The plot has thickened.
After a few months, I had enough evidence to send my dad to prison for the rest of
No,
his
you
life.
didn't. That's not how the police work in South America.
I decided to blackmail him.
That's a worse idea. That's a worse idea. Committing a crime yourself? Usually not a good plan.
I'll never forget my dad's face when I told him, "She's not your child."
What, you did it to his face?
My dad laughed. That's the best joke I've heard in a while. But I just glared at him and said, "Haley's mine."
That's my baby. I took your wife, made baby with her, Dad. I am crazy. Middle school boy, 18.
Guys, I really don't know how to feel about this story. I think this might be, this one might win a,
No thoughts. Head empty.
what's that prize that stories win? Pulitzer? Oh, that's journalism. That's what I'm doing.
Lexi and I are leaving today and taking her with us. We won't let our daughter grow up around a monster.
Demon.
That's
Okay.
when Dad
Hey, he's a
realized I was
demon.
telling the truth.
Okay.
Kill him.
He shoved me up against the wall and
Kill him.
snarled.
I'd like to see him kill him right now.
"You think you can sleep with my wife and I'll just let you go?"
Sounded like Mojo Joe.
I've got hours of recordings which prove you've been taking bribes.
Poop.
If something should happen to me or my family, one of my friends will send them to every single
Oh,
journalist
I
in this
see.
country.
He's got a little mad.
And you'll go to prison for the rest of your life.
Turned into Keanu Reeves in that jail cell.
An hour later, Lexi,
Bruh.
Haley, and I left my dad's house.
The big old bag of money?
We took his favorite car and $50,000 and moved into a hotel. I thought we had plenty of money, but we didn't. After just 3 months,
You
she'd
guys
spent all our
spent
money.
All the
She
money
told me
in
she
3
couldn't
months?
survive like this and said she'd find someone else if I couldn't give her everything she wanted.
He's a fucking insane. You should. Ugh. You should have used protection for one, and also maybe just not have done that. Maybe just have taken the bribes in the very beginning, and then just minded your own business. You piece of shit. Middle schoolers, am I right?
But how was I supposed to do that? I didn't have a job. I was barely out of high school.
Should have thought about this before.
So, I went back to my dad and demanded $5 million.
Oh my.
I know you have the money.
Give it to me. Give me the money.
I'll give it to you tomorrow at noon. But you'll have to promise me you'll never ask for money again.
Is that Mona Lisa? Is that a cat sucking on her pinky? What is all this?
I said, deal.
I said, deal. Sure, $5 million.
Easy.
and I could buy everything Lexi wanted again.
What?
We moved to a better hotel, and we were happy for a while.
Why not just buy a house?
But over the next few months, I began to see why Lexi had married my dad.
Because she's an insane...
She was incredibly shallow and only cared about money.
Every single character in this entire story
Except the baby.
is insanely dislikable.
One day, we had a big fight. I told her
Big
she was
fight.
dressing like a tramp, and I didn't want her going
Oh
out with
my-
Haley looking like that. That night, I slept on the couch. And when I woke up, the safe where we kept
What?
our money was gone, and so was Lexi.
She's an insane... I don't understand. If I was a computer, there'd be sparks and smoke flying out of all my USB ports right now. Because I cannot... Let's finish it.
I had no choice but to go back to my dad to get more money. But when I went to see him, he said,
He just pulled out a gun and shot you.
Then it's over.
"You promised not to ask for more money." I
Then it's
said,
over.
I don't care.
He's obviously
"Lexi
not a man of
stole
his word.
everything from me.
He's obviously not a man of his
Just give me
word.
$1 million.
Oh my god.
This will have consequences."
Good. It should.
He gave me the money, and I drove back to the hotel Haley and I
What?
lived in. A few days later, when I went to
Someone stole
Haley's
money.
kindergarten to pick her up, they told me her mom
gone?
and grandfather had picked her up already. My blood ran cold.
I'm sorry, what? Can I continue to watch the final 3 minutes of this? How is it possible that with these turns, many 90 degrees, the person who made this must be mentally ill?
When I arrived, Dad was holding my daughter in his lap.
Because he's a good dad.
"So, my son,
Petting
the tables
her is
have
kinda weird.
turned.
This is weird.
Your daughter and Lexi will
my
live
gosh.
far away from you.
Okay.
They'll be safe as long as you don't publish any of the recordings."
I'd start celebrating.
Don't take my daughter. I want to live with her. I'll give you
$1
back the
million.
$1 million if you'll just let me be with her.
You're an idiot.
And since I'm feeling generous, I'll let you see your daughter once a year.
He's bluffing!
I looked at my sleeping child.
You're an idiot!
She was so beautiful,
The story is crazy!
but I knew I had no choice. So
Oh.
I went back to my hotel. I realized I had $1 million and almost every freedom in the world.
So then you just stopped caring about your deadbeat daughter and stupid ex-wife and you just decided to be an 18-year-old. Is that what happens? Or is there some other fucking twist? M. Night Shyamalan twist?
Life wasn't too bad, even though I missed Haley like crazy. Since I didn't see Haley very often, she barely knew who I was when I visited her once a year.
Good.
You don't deserve that.
I took lots of photos of her while we were together.
Of course you did, you creep.
Seeing her like
Creep,
that
weirdo,
broke
stranger
my
danger.
heart.
Stranger danger.
I was desperate to do something, but since I couldn't use the recordings I had, I didn't know what.
Oh my god. Just get naked and run through the street. Like that Coney guy.
The only solution I could think of was if my dad died. But one day, my dad was assassinated.
Oh!
Of course, it had nothing to do with me, but it solved all my problems. I got my daughter back and inherited all my dad's money.
What?
The only one who was left with nothing was Lexi. She came to see me and begged me to give her some money. Why should I give money to someone who stole from me?
What is this story?
Your dad took all my money away from me, and I'm the mother of your child. Wow.
Should have slapped her. Slapped the stink off her. Just kidding, don't do that.
We agreed I'd pay her a small allowance as long as Haley lived with me.
$100? $100?
But at least I have my daughter back, and that's all that matters to me.
I don't know what's happening, guys. I gave birth in jail at 6. This channel's weird!
At age 16, I did something really stupid.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I dated a guy who had been arrested several times before.
Looks like...
Halsey.
Just kidding. Doesn't. Really, I don't know. Looks fucking dumb.
One night, we met at a car park. I had no idea why,
Yeah, nice.
Punisher shirt.
but then he smashed the window of a car. Of course, the alarm went
What?
off. We both searched the car for valuables, but found nothing.
Why?
Then, suddenly, a police car
Oh.
stopped right in front of us. My boyfriend jumped out and ran away,
Into the trees like Slender Man.
but But I was so scared, I just froze.
Literally turned into an ice cube.
The next day, I got trialed and sentenced to 1 year in
Trialed.
prison.
Is that the proper word for that?
In my opinion, it was all his fault.
No, it was not. That's not how personal responsibility works. You know, when you can make a decision. When you're amongst your peers, you can make decisions. Yes or no decisions. The consequences are whatever the decision you make.
It was all his fault.
That's a funny line.
And to make things worse, he had gotten me pregnant.
Oh, is that his fault too?
They force you to keep the baby.
Do they really?
After 3 months,
Is that how
my
that works?
beloved boyfriend paid me a visit and said,
No baby for you.
"Thanks, you didn't rat on me.
Oh.
I would have gotten a long time.
Yeah, but you're underage though, so you wouldn't.
But once you're out of here, I'll take care of you." Wow. The guy that couldn't get a job wanted to take care of me.
Wow, that's epic. He's ugly. His head looks like a bitch. His hair looks like a troll doll. His shirt looks like a hockey jersey, but it's not. He looks like a fucking dummy.
Leave him.
I told him to F off and that I never
Okay,
wanted
good,
to see
good,
him again.
Good.
Then good luck raising our kid on your own. You get what you deserve.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be fine.
I had enough.
She'll probably be
I
fine.
filed a report to the police and told them how my boyfriend
Oh.
had helped me break into the car.
Gonna snitch on him.
It was easy to convict him.
He's an
Because
idiot.
the police had DNA traces from the crime scene that matched him.
Yeah.
I was still miserable. Because being pregnant in prison at age 16 is no fun.
To be fair, that's not really what prison looks like either, guys. I mean, that's like prison from like 13, like the year 13. That might even be worse than prison from the year 13.
The older women didn't respect me and often forced me to give them my food. It meant that my baby and I
What?
often had to go hungry.
You know people are in prison, right? Not just demons and monsters.
I screamed.
Oh no, crampy.
My baby is coming.
You better run to the toilet.
Poop that thing out.
I expected the guards to bring me to a hospital,
No?
but instead they brought me to another cell.
Hey,
and
don't do that, you're
handcuffed both
dangerous.
My arms to the bed.
Okay, that's not what happens to a 16-year-old person. A girl in prison. This is lies. Fake.
When a doctor finally arrived,
Fake.
I was already
Lie.
screaming out of pain.
Fake.
He told the guards to
Fake.
free me from my
Fake.
handcuffs, but they
Fake.
refused and said,
Fake.
"We aren't allowed to do that."
That's not true. That's not true. That's untrue. That's a false. That's a lie. You're
Dumb.
I had so many thoughts racing through my head. What if something went wrong? What if I couldn't push out the baby
Bada
because
bing,
I'm
bada
tied
boom.
to my bed?
Or your pants are still on. Oh,
But
God.
everything went well.
Ew. Nasty
You probably
baby.
didn't know that prisoners are allowed to raise their babies inside their cell.
I didn't know that. I also feel like that's not true. But I don't know.
The other inmates often looked at my daughter as if they were planning to hurt her.
What?
So, to keep her safe, I gave her to my mom until I came out.
That isn't how women work. I need to hurt that baby.
I can tell you that going to prison was a life-changing experience for me. I realized I had to become a responsible adult.
What?
Or my life would only become worse.
No shit.
That's why I graduated high school and got a job as a dental assistant.
Yeah, with a felony?
Most importantly, I've learned to
The
not date
baby.
dishonest people like my ex-boyfriend.
I don't like this one. So guys, that's the story of the time the girl got pregnant at age 16, had to go into the baby in the cell, because that's what they do apparently when you're 16 and a juvenile. When you're still a kid, they treat you as if you're a
Gollum.